And what about the increasing violence in the culture? I mean, even the backdrop of war. I remember when President Clinton, after the Columbine shootings, said parents have to teach their children that violence is not the answer, that there are other ways to solve conflict, as the U.S. was dropping bombs on Yugoslavia.
We all know there has been a terrible shooting at a high school in Littleton, Colorado. I hope the American people will be praying for the students, the parents, and the teachers. And we'll wait for events to unfold, and then there'll be more to say.
Schools nationwide have extended zero-tolerance policies, suspending and expelling students for all kinds of behavior considered unruly or warning signs of violence to come.
And when that happens, we lose the best early warning system we have.
You know that zero-tolerance concept that has swept across America through the education system, saying, we'll solve the problem of violence. We're going to have a zero-tolerance policy for weapons of mass destruction or whatever.
This second grader in Illinois was suspended for 10 days for bringing a nail clipper to class. That's a weapon, his school said.
An elementary school suspended a first grader for pointing a chicken strip at a teacher in the cafeteria. The 8-year-old was fooling around with a friend at lunch last week when he pointed a breaded chicken finger at a teacher and then said, "Pow, pow."
Pointed a folded piece of paper like this one, shaped like a gun, and told his classmates he was going to kill them during a game of cops and robbers.
This isn't a warning sign. Then what is it?
Zachary Christie. He's 6 years old. He weighs about 40 pounds. He's in the Cub Scouts. He went camping. So he decided to bring his little 3-in-1. You've seen those little things that they're attached together, that there's a fork and a spoon and a butter knife. And what did they do? And they took this boy and took him to the office and called his parents. They said, he's out. He's expelled. 5 days, and then he has to go to reform school for a month and a half before he can come back.
Having a well-conceived and strictly enforced dress code can dramatically improve the safety of a school and can ensure a positive learning environment for everyone. As this student's appearance demonstrates, having a lax policy about dress makes it easy for a student to conceal a weapon and makes it difficult to identify intruders on campus. A dress code can reduce weapons violations, relieve tensions between gangs, reduce disciplinary infractions, and generally improve the atmosphere of the school. Our policy requires that students tuck in their shirts, making the belt line visible at all times. Our students may not wear baggy pants or colors and insignias that are commonly associated with gang activity.
This Virginia high school student spent a month out of classes, originally sent home for dyeing his hair blue.
A high school honor student from Michigan could be expelled later today in a school board hearing. 17-year-old Jeremy Hicks wore a Scottish bagpiper's outfit to his junior prom that included a plaid kilt, a feathered hat, and a traditional knife known as a skein dhu.
This T-shirt landed a high school student in court. She wanted to start an anarchy club.
The little time bombs that are out there ticking, waiting to go off, and there are many of them in every community.
Students in at least 7 different states have been suspended or arrested for talking about or planning plots of their own.
I think the connection between background violence and rampage school shootings is actually fairly complicated and not very straightforward. Violence is more prevalent in our nation's cities. School rampage shootings tend to happen in small, isolated, rural communities or exurbs. So there isn't a very direct connection between where violence typically happens, especially gun violence in the United States, and where rampage shootings happen.
It's almost like guerrilla warfare. You don't know from which direction the enemy will be coming.
I could patch you through to my control room and you could tell us on the air. Okay, I mean, literally, I can put you through right now. I understand that. Now they said he's gone to the library. He's in the building.